Hello and welcome back to another episode. So, yes, we are doing Nintendo's weird controller history. Basically, we're going to be looking at a bunch of Nintendo controllers that are fucking bizarre and kind of going, why do this? Now, some are cool. Some are shit. And I will go over which is shit and which is not. So, as we all know, Nintendo started with something fairly simple. They went, hey guys, hey, got this great idea. D-pad and 2 buttons. That's it. D-pad, 2 buttons. B is shoot, A is jump. Nice and simple. Has a start button on there as well. Okay, cool, brilliant. Next controller, we've added 2 trigger buttons as well. And there's 4 buttons on it now. Yeah. Sound cool? Sound good? Sound excellent? Brilliant. Here's our next one. You need 4 arms to play it properly. You've got 2 fucking triggers, one at the bloody base in the middle of the 3rd prong. The only analog stick is right here. And it's too big to it's too big to use all of the buttons in a consensive way. Now, don't get me wrong. I know you're supposed to control it like this or like this or whatever the fuck may be, or like this. It's supposed to be multi-use, but what the fuck were they thinking? What the shit is this thing? Bearing in mind it's not the first analog controller. There were others, specifically the Sega Saturn, my beautiful boy, the Sega Saturn's 3D controller, which went, okay, here's an idea. Thumbstick here. Yeah. D-pad here. Buttons here. This went right in the middle. Shove it in the middle. That'll be fine. Sure, that makes sense. Oh boy. Here's the thing. I despise that controller. I absolutely hate it. To the point where I got this. A friend of mine had this about... Let's say that. This one's janky. Yep, fixed it. Awesome. There we go. So yeah, my friend had this a while ago. It's way more accessible. It's way more comfortable. The buttons are all near each other. You can switch between D-pad and doodad on the way. It put a real dampener on me playing the N64. It did. It put a massive dampener on it. And here's the thing. I like the N64. I do. I love GoldenEye. I love World Is Not Enough. I love Lilac Wars. I love Pokemon Stadium. I fucking really want to play Mystic Ninja featuring Goemon. That looks sick. What got in the way was this horrendous monstrosity. I absolutely hate it. I did pick up another controller, mostly another controller very similar to this. One of the newer ones, which is more rounded, has more of a grip. It's a little less oblong than this is, but I don't think this is particularly a problem. So thankfully, I can play Nintendo 64 games properly now. You know, without this fucking eternal headache. Thank God. It's not the only weird controller Nintendo went in the 90s. And here's the kicker. It's a better controller than that. Now, when you think big red eyesore, you probably think, hey, the Virtual Boy gives you eye strain to the point where you want to rip your own eyeballs out because all you can see is red and black now. Here's the thing. Its controller was pretty good. It was. Now, admittedly, it is a bit weird that all the power for the console goes into the controller's battery pack, or indeed otherwise. But this is comfortable, it's ergonomic. The shoulder buttons are literally just buttons underneath, but that's not a problem. And it's got 2 D-pads. So I'm sat here going, you've got an extraordinarily well-designed controller, something that is comfortable to use, and you went with this. Why? Why? What are you doing? Stupid Nintendo of the 90s. Stupid Nintendo of the 90s. Now, admittedly, the Virtual Boy is not a very good system. Mine is broken, so great, 300 quid. I need to get the mirrors fixed, because at the moment I have to play it like this, because I can only see one of the screens, which is okay. It's not really the end of the world, but yeah, not great. So, crap controller, good controller. Nintendo then goes, right, okay, next, we're going to go pretty standard. Nice GameCube controller. A lot of people would sit there and go, yep, best freaking controller Nintendo has ever pumped out, to the point where they are still making these. They are still pumping these out so that people can play Smash Bros. Because they refuse to play it literally any other way. And you know what? Fair enough. There's even the Wii had GameCube docks on the good models, not the later shit ones. It let you use this particular controller. Maybe not this particular controller, it's kind of grubby. But it let you use the GameCube controller on certain games that were on the GameCube. So, for example, I recently bought Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, which, I'm going to be honest with you, fucking hated the original. It is trash. It's absolute horseshit. I know that people love it, but when your difficulty curve is like this, instead of like a nice gentle slip, fuck off. That's not fun to me, so go away. I can now play the sequel, which is a lot more accessible and not bullshit, with a controller that's actually decent. So what did Nintendo do? Did they iterate on the GameCube? Did they... Nope. They went, hey, here's another option. Game Boy Advance. Right, okay. Now, here's the thing. There are several games that make use of the Game Boy Advance being plugged into a GameCube. The major three that come to mind are Pokemon Coliseum, for its multiplayer. In fact, it's all for multiplayer. No, 4. Pac-Man World Versus. Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures, and Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Now, a bit stupid, quite frankly. Now, I like how certain games make use of it, but getting 4 people with 4 GameCubes back in the day was difficult. Getting them to do it now, borderline impossible. So those games are pretty unplayable, unfortunately. But did they reiterate? Did they go, hey, maybe a good controller for the next generation? Hey, how does that sound? Hey, how about that? No. I hate the Wii. I do hate the Wii. Because then they went, hey, you know how the Wii doesn't really work? You gotta plug this fucking thing into its base so that it fucking will. And yet, will this fit? No, it fucking might. But that's probably because this is a Mad Catz controller that looks kind of shitty on the inside. But yeah, the Wii Mote and the Nunchuck. I am not a fan. I am not a fan. I am absolutely, positively not a fucking fan. I really, really dislike it. I do. I think it is appalling. Which is a shame, because there are games on the Wii I want to play. There are games on the Wii that don't make my brain melt every time I have to fucking think about them, but those are few and far between. You know, like Boy and His Blob, Conduit 1. These are games I want to play. This gets in the way big time. It's a big part of why I don't play the Wii. And I've got... hell, I've stripped out the library. I've stripped it down to like, I don't know, 30. It was like 60. I stripped it out because I was like, I'm not playing these. These are shit. These are absolute trash games. But did Nintendo learn? No, they did not. Nintendo did not learn from the Wii. Instead, they went, right, cool. What about an iPad? Now, don't get me wrong. I've played some dumb controllers in my time. Used some dumb controllers in my time. None are quite as dumb as the Wii U. Yet, I love the Wii U. I love the Wii U. It is my second favourite Nintendo console after the GameCube. Which is saying something, because you've got amazing ones like the N64, you've got some really good ones like the 3DS, you've got some great ones like the SNES and the NES and the blah blah blah, and the Virtual Boy, with Wii right at the bottom of that. This, though, is lightweight. It's lightweight. If you've got big fat sausage hands like I do, it's actually perfectly fine to play, even though a lot of people didn't. And I think a lot of people were a bit irked over the fact that you can't use two on the Wii U. There's no option. They never sold the tablet controller separately from the console, which made replacing it borderline impossible. This is my second one I had to buy from CEX, because my original broke the screen, which is great, which is annoying, because the Wii U for like the better part of a decade was my go-to console. It was, yeah. For about 4 or 5 years, it's what I played over. I didn't own a PS4 until 2017. I didn't own a Xbox until 2016. And I hated the Xbox One. I still do. It is still horrendous. So the fact I was playing this up until... When was I playing this now? 2019. I got my Switch, my original Switch. I got my Switch 1 in 2019, 2 years after this launch. So for 2 years, I was still playing the Wii U. And you know what? Don't regret it for an instant. Really fucking good controller. One final controller. You know, it's basically a DS, but on TV. Okay. And it lets me play Metroid Prime Hunters on a TV, which, sick. Big fan of that. I just wish there was some sort of way I don't know, some sort of 3DS adapter would have been really cool. But no, unfortunately, here we are, moving on. One final controller. And I'll be honest with you, I only own this because it is compatible with one game on the Wii U. One game. One game that doesn't use this. And that is the Nintendo Wii U Pokken Tournament controller. Now, I love this controller. It is comfortable as hell. It is essentially what would have happened if Nintendo had just sort of evolved the SNES controller down the line, which is, for some reason, you've got the Z and left buttons there for, like, whatever. But you have, essentially it's the SNES controller. Here's the thing. Now, I know I said this is compatible with one Wii U game. It is. It's compatible with only one Wii U game. However, the Switch for this is really good. So if you've got a game that uses the D-pad for movement and doesn't require like analog sticks in any capacity, so sort of like a traditional side-scrolling platformer or some sort of tactics game, like a Fire Emblem knockoff or whatever, you can use this controller on it. Its library beyond Pokken, and bearing in mind this is still usable on the Switch version of Pokken Tournament, this became really crazy fucking good. It's a Hori Pokken Tournament controller, and it's sick as hell. It's such a good controller. It's comfortable, it plays well, it's got a cool frame, it's got like a cool rim, which is just kind of neat. So yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of that game anyway. Specifically the Wii U version, mostly because I haven't played the other version. Is it easily accessible? No, it's up too high and I can't be bothered. But I have the one I bought it new. I bought pretty much every Wii U game new when I bought them, so that was expensive. But yeah, especially when you had no money. University. But yeah, Nintendo's weird controllers. Now, yes, they've kind of gone back to the dreaded dangle flops of the Wii with the Switch, but thankfully they went, hey, hang on, hey, buddy. Joy-Cons are basically Wiimotes, but not shit. Like, cool. That still doesn't mean I'm using motion controls. Bye-bye. See you later. No, thank you. Moving on. So yes, that is me done for another week. Thank you very much for listening to my rambling. Not sure what we're going to do next week. As I mentioned in my last video, I did quite an extensive list of shit to do over the next few weeks. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'll talk about Destroy Humans. Who knows? But yes, that is us done for another week. So see you next time.